Few families have been as closely involved with the Diocese of Beaumont as the descendants of Philippe Bordages and Ellen Elliott Bordages. From the 1850s, when they settled in Texas, until today, the family has provided faithful, loving, and sacrificial service to the Catholic Church. Philippe and Ellen Bordages had 10 children, 6 of whom lived to be adults. One of those children was James Dennis Bordages, called Denny by the family. James Denny Bordages and Marie Bonmaison attended school together at St. Anthony High School. They were married at St. Anthony's Church in 1904 and resided in the Fannette area. During the 20s, the family relocated to a home at 1412 Avenue C in Beaumont. The two were blessed with 13 children. The children were educated at the same school Marie and Denny attended that was later named St. Anthony Cathedral Basilica School. Throughout the years, the Bordages family has continued its close association with the school. One of the children, Loretta Bordages Gary, was the school librarian and continues to support the efforts of the school.
The Bordages sisters are my favorite people, and Loretta is not a Dominican, but she is certainly as religious and as service-oriented as the Order of Dominicans. The sisters and Loretta are just a joy to know. They are the rock of St. Anthony School. They love that little elementary school, and of course, for almost 100 years, we had a Bordages in some form or fashion that was in attendance at St. Anthony, and we enjoyed every one of them. And because of that long-lasting relationship, those girls continue to support that school to the utmost, whether it's problem solving, treasure, talent, time, all of it they're willing to give because of their love for Catholic education and St. Anthony in particular.
6 of the children chose a religious vocation. They have blessed their family, the Catholic Church, and the communities they have served with a combined 426 years of service. 5 of the sisters became Dominican nuns. Their brother Martin was ordained in 1941 and served as a priest for 58 years. In 1972, he was appointed first resident pastor of St. Mary's Church, which his grandparents helped found.
I first met Father Martin Bordages in 1987 when I went to St. James Church in Port Arthur, where he was retired in a very busy retirement and living at that parish. He would fill in for pastors who had to be away, and I always said he was the utility infielder for our diocese. He was very busy, he was very friendly, he was loved by the people of South Jefferson County, where he had held many pastorates. Had a great love of people, great love of hunting. We always had 2 labs in the backyard, looking forward to hunting season as Martin looked forward to hunting season. Later on, he would become the part-time pastor of Sabine Pass, St. Paul's Mission, and very active down there. First thing he did was visit every family in that parish. And that culminated ultimately when he discovered about a dozen marriages that needed to be blessed. And one Sunday morning, he lined them all up and he blessed all those marriages. And then they went to the hall and had a banquet. He was a great priest and a good friend.
Monsignor Bordages was declared a prelate of honor by Pope John Paul II in 1996.
I remember the first Bordages that I met was Father Martin Bordages. He was a very quiet, hardworking man, and so he was my confessor for a long time. And every time I went to confession, he would give me 10 Our Fathers, 10 Hail Marys, and 10 Glory Bees. And I said, "Why do you always give me so many prayers to say?" He said, "Because you confess so many sins." And that was typical of the humanity of the Bordages. They have never lost touch with their humanity, and it is present in all of their ministry. As you know, the sisters have been involved with education, especially over the years at St. Anthony's Cathedral School. And everywhere they go, there was always this touch of humor, this acceptance of humanity, of the way we are, not the way we should be, and then working with us to become better people. So they have really been a light in the darkness for people looking for the presence of Christ among us. And I cherish my friendship and relationship with them. It's priceless.
This family of 15 needed an extra pair of hands to help with the children and the chores. That person was Julia Garlaska, who took care of the family for 80 years. Marie and Julia cooked for the cattlemen on the ranch, and she and Marie delivered the meals to the workers in the field. 7 of the Bordages children chose the vocation of marriage. These unions blessed Marie and Denny with 25 grandchildren, 50 great-grandchildren, 58 great-great-grandchildren, and 7 great-great-great-grandchildren.
I taught with Sister Emily for 15 years, and I started at Kelly High School in 2001, and she immediately embraced me and made me one of her own. And to this day, I refer to her as my second mother and my little vitamin, because I was so taken by her vitality and her energy. It's not only endearing, but also infectious. Sister Emily leads by example. She uses words only when necessary and engages her students and earns their respect from the moment she meets each and every one. She recognizes her students as children of God. Sister Emily is an icon. I can't think of anyone who doesn't love her, enjoy her, embrace her, except for the members of the League of Umpires who frequented the fields of Sister Emily Bordage Field at Kelly High School, who feared her. And so, but you know, that went part and parcel with Sister Emily's profile. She was never afraid to make the right call. And that's how she lived her life, and that's what she instilled in her students. That oftentimes we have to go against the flow or go against the grain to stand up for what is right, but one should never be afraid to do that. Sister Emily is a gift. She has heard God's voice, she has answered His call, and every time I see Sister Emily's face, I touch the face of Christ.
Marie and Denny Bordages received 2 Pro Ecclesia et Pontifex medals, which were awarded by Pope Paul VI. The decoration bears a likeness of Pope Leo XIII and is given in recognition of service. The Bordages family's good works and dedication to the Catholic Church have impacted thousands of lives. The ripple effect of their sacred work in education, spirituality, and good deeds is immeasurable. They are the personification of the biblical good and faithful servants.